RLCS Season 5, which took place in London over the past weekend, was arguably the greatest Rocket League tournament in the history of the esport. If you missed any of it, I've linked the Twitch and YouTube channels below so you can catch up on them. And seriously, if you didn't see it, or at least see the matches from the last day, it's totally worth watching. I wasn't able to watch every second of the tournament, but it felt like every time I was watching it, something crazy was happening. So I thought it would be fun to count down the best goals from the entire weekend. And I'm mainly looking at the craziest goals. So for example, a really clutch goal to win in overtime that was just kind of a standard goal didn't end up making it into my list over some of the more insane goals that happened. That's just how I did it for this video. Before I get into the video, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by GAMERLINK. GAMERLINK is a free app for gamers looking for other gamers. So whether you're trying to find somebody to trade with or to just queue up with, this is the best place to do it. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend that you download it and see what you think. Again, it's completely free, it doesn't cost anything to download, and it's really an amazing app. So I've put a link in the description below if that interests you. Make sure to check that out. Alright guys, I hope you liked this one. As always, I'm sure I missed a few, so make sure to let me know in the comments below what your favorite moment was. And also be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoy it. Alright, let's get into my picks for the 10 best goals from RLCS London. Number 10, Squishy's mid-air bump. I'm sure there are probably some other goals that some would expect to make this list over, for example, a bump goal. I don't know why, but I just love these so much. And if you've ever had this happen to you, you know how frustrating it is. There's literally nothing you can do if someone knows your path to the ball and simply cuts you off in that path. You just really have so few options when you're in the air, as opposed to when you're on the ground and someone starts chasing you. This wasn't the only savage bump at RLCS this year. There was one that we'll get to later on that's actually even more crazy. Number 9, K-Dop's air dribble. Even in 2018, a time where the only goals that seem to be montage worthy are flip reset goals, a simple air dribble with the right placement can still be the best option. It's so interesting to see the difference between a solid air dribble today and compare it to the first RLCS. At that time, the player had to just focus on keeping the ball on top of his car, and besides just sort of keeping the ball high and trying to hit it into the top of the net, there really wasn't a lot of positioning. There weren't a lot of people who were air dribbling it directly to the corners consistently. When K-Dop gets his second touch off the wall, you can actually tell exactly where he's shooting for. He's trying to go right to the top right corner, and the way he moves the ball around the defenders to get to that exact spot is really amazing. And it really shows that air dribbles are not only still alive in 2018, but they're still really hard to defend if someone's really good at it.
You can play either side of the field.
K-Dop wants to go the whole way. Oh my goodness! Watch in awe.
Number 8, Justin's quadruple touch. If you didn't already know it before this tournament, you probably do now. Justin is the nuttiest Rocket League player in the world. I was honestly really nervous for him when he walked up on stage for his first game. Like, I could just tell that he was super nervous. But once he got going, the man was right in his element. If you've played Rocket League for very long, you've probably noticed that the more pressure there is, the harder it is to have this level of control. So I've seen that I'm actually able to do more crazy stuff in unranked, for example, than when I'm playing in ranked. Playing in the RLCS Live Finals is like the very peak amount of pressure a Rocket League player can experience. And it really shows, as a lot of players don't do well in that situation. And I think it's these incredible moments of control that show just how good these players really are. Players like Justin are truly on another level. Number 7, Alot's 0-second goal. I think my favorite part of this tournament was how you really couldn't predict what was going to happen. The players are playing the game at such a higher level than ever before. Really anything is possible. This 0-second goal from Alot to send game 1 into overtime was amazing. And this is what I'm talking about. There was absolutely no room for error on a goal with this kind of angle. And even under this kind of pressure, he still manages to maneuver his car perfectly to get this goal.
Now all the way back up. They have to keep this one alive. Alot's going to keep following. He does get a touch! Alot! Are you real?
He always finds the angles.
Number 6, Fireburner's mid-air bump goal. So this is the one that I mentioned earlier that's even more crazy than Squishy's. And maybe it's just me, but for some reason, these just are so satisfying to watch. One of the things I noticed from this season's RLCS was how important it is to be able to play physical. The best teams really have the ability to disrupt their opponents with tons of bumps and demos. I think that bumps and demos are really becoming even more a part of the meta for high-level Rocket League. Number 5, Torsos insane double touch. It's always interesting to see how the OCE teams will do at the live finals. Obviously the Chiefs have a ton of experience as a team, and I think they're the oldest roster in all of RLCS. But for some reason, I still always wonder whether they'll be able to stand up to the competition after not having to play against these caliber of teams. And every time they've proven that they're still one of the best teams in the world. Although I will say, it's really a shame that they always have to face the #1 European team in their second match. Like, that seems kinda unfair to me. The thing that really sets them apart is just their ability to make goals happen. And this is true of both the Chiefs and of Tainted Minds. They simply score more goals than most teams, and they just have an incredible offense. This goal was a perfect example of how the Chiefs like to play Rocket League.
Seems to be messing with them. This is a great sign here for the Chiefs.
Rippe takes it all the way up the wall before clearing next to the ceiling. A follow-up, a second touch from Torsos puts it in, and the lead is for the Chiefs.
And look at this high-flying goal all the way from their own half. Should be pushing that towards the middle. There's nobody from Evil Geniuses challenging this ball. Sit there, catching them, waiting in goal.
Number 4, K-Dop's insane backboard goal. After watching Dignitas play at the highest level for the past 2 seasons, it's not a stretch to say that this was an intentional pass play. Yes, Violent Panda was probably just trying to beat the opponent to the ball, but I would bet money that he knew where K-Dop was and was attempting to get him the ball. And it looks like K-Dop is trying to go for a pass when he heads up the wall onto the backboard in this way. I mean, if me and my brother can intentionally make goals like this, I'm guessing Dignitas can too. Number 3, Devo's insane backboard double touch. If you've been watching Rocket League for a while, you know that Devo has been known to hit some crazy shots. In fact, I'd say he's hit some of the best goals in RLCS history. I wish I could watch this goal from his perspective. Like, every time I think I understand it, I realize that I don't.
Absolutely nobody from NRG was taking the bait. Devo up high. That is going to drop down 5, but it will not be there. Devo with an incredible double tap.
Are you kidding me, Devo?
Is he back? Is he back, Lola?
I had so many questions about Devo, but a shot like that off the backboard? Wow.
Number 2, Garrett G's bump to insane ceiling shot. I remember when Garrett G first showed up in the NA Rocket League scene. He's always been one of the craziest players in the world, but until now, I feel like we haven't really gotten to see him shine in a live setting. Like, their team has always just kind of been almost there or done really bad at lands. This goal is really unlike any other goal I've seen. High-level players will often shoot their car upwards to get a flip reset off the ceiling, but that's normally planned. Garrett G does this as sort of a reaction to this really awkward bump that he gets. And it's awesome because it's one of those goals that when you first start watching it, you don't really see how anything can come of it. He's chasing the ball down in his half with no boost, and then when he goes up to challenge the ball, he's completely positioned in the corner. Like, it's not meant at all to be a shot at first. He's just trying to center the ball, and then it somehow turns into this madness.
Trying to still do something. He's managed to get there off the loose pass. Steals the mid boost as well. That's going to slow down Team Dignitas, who are now on the defensive. Still 0 goes. Oh my goodness! Oh my Garrett! They don't come any better than that.
Alright guys, my pick for the best goal, not only from this RLCS, but in my opinion, by far the best goal in Rocket League history, goes to Justin for this 0-second equalizer. NRG basically ran over their competition the entire tournament. And I think that deep down, pretty much everybody knew this was going to be the final matchup. Dignitas and NRG are by far the 2 best teams in the world at this point, and they played on another level at this tournament. It looked like Dignitas had it when they basically manhandled NRG in the first series, and then they were up 2-0 in the second series. NRG plowed their way back to force Game 7, and here's how the series came to an end.
NRG need this immediately. They've got the kick off in their favor. K-Dop tries to clear. It is almost there. It just has to hit the floor. Violent Panda puts it a long way, and it's almost there. Justin keeps it alive. Turbo passes there. Bounces into the corner. NRG still around. Justin is there for the shot. Justin! Justin! This is Rocket League! They did it! The Rookie of the Year! Ladies and gentlemen.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. be sure to keep supporting Rocket League esports. You know, I'd like to think that part of the reason why there were so many viewers was because I told you guys to go watch it in my last top 10 video, and I'm sure some of you did. After this tournament, I really don't think anything is going to stop Rocket League at this point. Like, if people like to talk about Rocket League being dead or how it's dying, I just don't think that's true at all. If you do want to see the game keep growing, I would just say that we should all just keep supporting and showing love to Psyonix. Like, they did an incredible job with this tournament, and I'm super excited for the future of this game. Also, don't forget to check out that app that I mentioned earlier, GAMERLINK. Again, it's completely free, and it's the best way to connect with fellow gamers. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Much love, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.